and we'll keep drifting, floating together through the mysteries. 100 night sky mystery, looping softly, endlessly through the night. Tonight we'll drift through the slow procession of the stars above ancient skies. Why the Milky Way seems to breathe across the seasons. How faint light travels for billions of years to reach your eyes. There's nothing you need to do now. Just let your body sink. Heavier, heavier. Feel the mattress holding you, every muscle softening, your heartbeat slowing, thump, thump, matching the rhythm of space itself. Shoulders melting down, jaw releasing, each breath pulling you deeper, deeper into the calm, the quiet, the dark. If this helps you rest, tap subscribe, comment, and hit like, so others can find this calm too, but only if your eyes are still open. Otherwise, just drift. Now, let's drift into night sky. Imagine the celestial sphere, that ancient dome arching overhead, as if the universe were painted on the inside of a perfect bowl, curving down, down to every horizon. The ancients saw it this way, this sphere turning slowly, carrying every star, every planet in its gentle rotation, and your body feels that turning now, so slow. You barely notice, just your breath, rising, falling, like the sphere itself, breathing. The stars appear to move, not because they're rushing through space, but because you are, because Earth beneath you spins, one full rotation every 24 hours. And as you lie here, sinking deeper, you're spinning too, carried eastward at 1,000 miles per hour, though you feel nothing, nothing but stillness, nothing but the soft weight of blankets, of gravity, of sleep. Heavier, heavier. This rotation, this steady turning, makes the stars rise in the east, just like the sun, arc overhead through the night, and set in the west, disappearing, reappearing in an endless cycle, older than memory, the entire sky appearing to wheel around you, though really, it's you, turning beneath the fixed and patient stars. Feel that. Feel yourself turning slowly into darkness, into rest. The Earth spins on its axis, tilted 23.5 degrees, like a top, wobbling gently, and this tilt, this lean, gives us seasons, gives us summer stars, winter stars, the long nights, the short ones, all because of this angle, this ancient tilt, perhaps caused billions of years ago by a collision, a cosmic impact, when Earth was young, molten, new. And that tilt itself is slowly, so slowly, shifting the axis like a spinning top, precesses, traces a circle in space, taking 26,000 years to complete one full wobble. Your breathing slows in, out, so much faster than this cosmic drift, this precession of the equinoxes, discovered by ancient Greek astronomers, watching, measuring the slow, imperceptible shift of stars against the seasons. 5,000 years ago, Polaris wasn't the North Star. Another star, Thubanin Draco, marked true north for ancient civilizations, building their monuments aligning their temples, and in another 13,000 years, Vega will be the pole star, the sky slowly, endlessly, rearranging its patterns, while you, here, now, sink deeper into this moment, this breath, this soft, descending, quiet. This gentle precession of Earth's axis continues its slow cycle every 26,000 years, shifting the pole star across the ages, the ecliptic. Imagine it, the path the sun appears to trace across the sky throughout the year, sliding through the zodiac, through those ancient constellations, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and onward. This path, this ecliptic plane, is really the plane of Earth's orbit, and the planets travel close to this line, wandering, which is what planet means, wanderer in ancient Greek. All the major planets stay near this ecliptic because they formed from this same flattened disk of gas and dust that birthed our solar system long ago. These zodiac constellations, 13 of them actually, not 12. With Ophiuchus bridging between Scorpius and Sagittarius, these star patterns, so familiar, so loaded with myth and meaning, mark the ecliptic's path, where sun and moon and planets drift, month after month, century after century. Your eyes growing heavier, heavier, as you imagine those ancient patterns overhead in the darkness. Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, reminds us how the constellations we inherited from antiquity were never perfectly fixed boundaries, but living maps of the wandering lights. Some stars never set, circumpolar stars, wheeling endlessly around the celestial pole, never dipping below the horizon if you're far enough north or south. In the northern hemisphere, Polaris sits nearly motionless, while the Big Dipper, Cassiopeia, other constellations, circle it throughout the night, throughout the year, always visible, always wheeling, patient, eternal. These unchanging circles in the sky offered ancient peoples a sense of cosmic stability amid the shifting seasons below. Polaris, the current North Star, isn't the brightest star, but it sits, by cosmic coincidence, less than 1 degree from true north, from the point in the sky directly above Earth's North Pole. Sailors used it for centuries to navigate, to find their way across dark oceans, beneath dark skies, always knowing Polaris meant north, meant home, meant direction in the vastness. Even today, in an era of GPS, many still feel a quiet reassurance looking up to see that steady, faint light holding its place. If you watch the stars for hours with a camera, its shutter open, you'd see star trails, circular streaks of light arcing around Polaris, each star tracing its nightly path, a record of Earth's rotation captured in light. The longer the exposure, the longer the arcs until dawn, when stars fade into blue, into daylight, into invisibility. Those graceful arcs reveal the invisible spin of our world, turning the night into a silent testament to motion we feel but rarely see. Your breathing, so slow now, in, out, like those arcs, those patient trails of light, Each inhale and exhale mirrors the steady turning of the heavens above you. A sidereal day is the time it takes Earth to rotate once, relative to the distant stars. 23 hours, 56 minutes, 4 seconds, slightly shorter than a solar day, which measures noon to noon, sun to sun. The difference, because Earth also orbits, moving along its path around the sun, so it must rotate a little extra to bring the sun back to the same position in the sky. This 4-minute difference accumulates over the year, causing the stars to rise about 4 minutes earlier each night. Feel your heart beat, thump, thump, so much faster than these cosmic rhythms, these days upon days measured in starlight. Yet in this quiet space, your pulse gently aligns itself with the deeper, slower pulse of the universe. The moon, rising, setting, changing, always changing its face, its position, its presence in the night sky, sometimes full and bright, flooding the darkness with silver, sometimes a sliver, a whisper of light, sometimes invisible, new, hiding between earth and sun. Its wanderings against the backdrop of stars mark time in ways calendars can only approximate. The phases, waxing, growing, from new to crescent to quarter to gibbous to full, then waning, shrinking, gibbous to quarter to crescent to new again. A cycle, 29.5 days, over and over, the same face always turned toward Earth, locked by tidal forces, eons ago. This synchronous rotation binds the moon to us in an eternal tidal dance that shapes oceans and perhaps even ancient human rhythms. But not quite the same face. There's a wobble, a gentle rocking, called libration, allowing us to see, over time, about 59% of the moon's surface, not just 50. The moon nods yes, north to south, nods no, east to west, as it orbits, swinging slightly, revealing, hiding, revealing again, hidden valleys, ancient craters along its edges. Through libration, we glimpse secrets the moon keeps just out of permanent view, teasing us with glimpses of its far side. Let your jaw release, soften, like the moon's edge, blurring into sleep. Feel the tension melt away as softly as the lunar horizons fade into shadow. Earthshine, that faint glow, on the dark part of the moon, when it's a crescent, is sunlight reflected off Earth, bouncing onto the lunar surface. Leonardo da Vinci explained this 500 years ago, understanding that Earth shines too, that our planet glows bright and blue when seen from space, from the moon, illuminating lunar nights with ghostly light. This gentle earth light reminds us that even in darkness, our world casts its own soft radiance outward. A blue moon doesn't mean the moon looks blue. It's the second full moon in a single calendar month, or the third of 4 full moons in a season. Rare enough to give us the phrase, once in a blue moon, though it happens every 2 to 3 years. The moon can look blue after volcanic eruptions, when particles scatter light, but that's different, rarer still. The phrase captures how uncommon yet predictable celestial events can feel in the span of a human life. Heavier, heavier, your limbs sinking into the mattress. Let gravity pull you deeper, as inexorable as the moon's gentle tug on the tides. A supermoon, when the full moon coincides with perigee, the moon's closest approach to Earth in its elliptical orbit, appearing slightly larger, slightly brighter, though the difference, subtle, about 14%, between the closest and farthest full moons. Still, it's a beautiful name for a beautiful sight. That bright disk, hanging low, massive seeming, near the horizon. When it rises large and golden, the illusion of nearness draws the eye and quiets the mind in wonder. A blood moon, the colour of the moon during a total lunar eclipse, when Earth's shadow falls across the lunar face. The moon doesn't disappear, but glows. Deep red, deep orange. This colour comes from Earth's atmosphere, bending sunlight, filtering out blue, projecting red, the same physics that makes sunsets crimson, now painting the moon in Earth's sunset colours. In that ruddy light, the moon wears our planet's atmosphere like a veil of shared twilight. Lunar eclipses, safe to watch, unlike solar eclipses. You can stare at the moon as it darkens, as it reddens, as Earth's shadow slowly creeps across. Mountains on the shadow's edge make it jagged, irregular, not a smooth arc, but a rough darkness, eating light. The uneven edge, etched by lunar peaks, reveals the rugged reality behind the perfect circle we imagine. Solar eclipses, rarer from any one location, occur when the moon passes between Earth and Sun, blocking that searing disk. In a total eclipse, day becomes night, stars appear, the temperature drops, birds fall silent, confused, and the sun's corona, its outer atmosphere, becomes visible. White streamers reaching into space, only visible when the bright disk is covered, hidden. The moon and sun appearing almost exactly the same size in our sky, a cosmic coincidence, perfect, precise. This fleeting alignment, where apparent sizes match so precisely, is a rare gift of perspective in our solar system. Penumbral eclipses, subtler still, when the moon passes through Earth's outer shadow, the penumbra barely dimming, barely noticeable, unless you're watching carefully. A ghost of an eclipse, a whisper, easy to miss, like the edge of sleep. Blurring past conscious awareness, its faint shading slips by unnoticed by most, much like the first gentle drift toward dreams. Your eyelids, so heavy now, let them close if they haven't already. Allow them to fall as naturally as night follows the fading light. The Milky Way, our home galaxy, a spiral of 400 billion stars. When you look up at that cloudy band stretching across the darkest skies, you're looking into the flat disk of our galaxy, seeing the combined light of millions upon millions of stars, too distant to resolve individually, just light, merging, flowing, like milk, like a river across the heavens. Gazing into it connects you to depth depths of space and time beyond any single lifetime. The galactic core, towards Sagittarius, appears brightest, most dense. In summer, from the northern hemisphere, it arches high, overwhelming, filled with structure, with dark lanes, with glowing regions. In winter, you look outward, toward the galaxy's edge, the Milky Way fainter, higher, toward Auriga, Perseus, still beautiful, but quieter, dimmer. Each season offers a different face of our galactic home, inviting renewed wonder under changing skies. The Milky Way seems to breathe across the seasons, appearing, disappearing, changing position as Earth orbits, as our view shifts, always there, even when invisible, hidden by daylight, by moonlight, by city glow. Its presence endures unseen, a constant river of stars waiting for darkness to reveal it again. Dark nebulae, clouds of dust and gas, blocking the light of stars behind them. They look like holes, voids in the Milky Way, the great rift, splitting the band of light, from Cygnus down through Sagittarius. Actually denser than surrounding space, these dark clouds, future stars, unborn, waiting in the cold, the dark. Within their obscuring embrace, new suns quietly gather strength for their eventual ignition. Let yourself sink into that darkness, that cosmic cold, transformed here into warmth, into rest, into the soft embrace of sleep. Embrace this welcoming void as a cradle rather than an absence. Emission nebulae, glowing clouds where stars have recently formed, energetic light from young stars, ionizes hydrogen, making it glow red, pink, like the Lagoon Nebula, the Eagle Nebula, stellar nurseries where gravity pulls gas together, tighter, tighter, until fusion ignites and stars are born. These radiant regions pulse with the raw energy of creation, painting the night with colour born of fire. Reflection, nebulae, blue clouds, where starlight scatters off dust particles. Blue light scatters more easily, so these nebulae glow, soft blue, around bright stars. The Pleiades, surrounded by reflection nebulosity, faint, delicate, captured in long exposure, invisible to eyes alone. Their ethereal blue veil whispers of gentle scattering, visible only when we linger long enough in darkness. Sinking, drifting, deeper now, carried on currents of quiet like dust motes in starlight. Open star clusters, loose groups, hundreds of stars, born together from the same cloud, still loosely bound by gravity. The Pleiades, the Hyades, visible to the unaided eye, soft knots of light. Binoculars reveal their beauty. Dozens of stars, siblings, slowly drifting apart over millions of years until they scatter, disperse, lose their family identity. These sibling groups remind us that even stars born in closeness eventually find their own paths across the galaxy. Globular clusters, ancient, dense, spherical swarms of hundreds of thousands of stars orbiting the galactic halo, older than the Milky Way's disk, perhaps 12 billion years old, nearly as old as the universe itself. These clusters, faint smudges to the eye, resolve in telescopes to incredible density. Stars packed so close, their night skies must be spectacular, filled with neighbours, impossibly bright. In their hearts, the night would blaze with countless close suns, a dazzling eternal daylight, star-forming regions where the universe makes new light. Orion Nebula, visible even in the city, a fuzzy patch in Orion's sword. In darkness, through binoculars, it reveals structure, wings, cavities, blown by stellar winds. 4 bright stars, the trapezium at its heart, illuminating, sculpting the gas around them. The trapezium's fierce young light carves and illuminates this vast cradle of creation, stellar nurseries where infant stars, still wrapped in their birth clouds, glow infrared, invisible to our eyes, but seen by special cameras, by space telescopes, revealing protostars, disks of dust, where planets might be forming around stars, less than 1 million years old, cosmically newborn. These hidden disks hint at worlds yet to emerge, cradles within cradles in the ongoing story of formation. Thump, thump, your heartbeat, slow, so slow, matching now the unhurried tempo of cosmic birth and becoming. Stars have life cycles, born in nebulae, living millions, billions of years, fusing hydrogen to helium in their cores. Eventually, fuel runs low, the core contracts, heats, the outer layers expand, cool, and the star becomes a red giant, enormous, hundreds of times its original size. Betelgeuse, Antares, red giants visible to the unaided eye, near the end of their long lives. In their swelling red phase, they glow with a final expansive beauty before transformation. When a star like our sun dies, it sheds its outer layers, creating a planetary nebula, a shell of glowing gas, expanding, fading, over thousands of years. The core remains compressed, hot, a white dwarf, Earth-sized, incredibly dense. A teaspoon of white dwarf material would weigh tons on Earth. These remnants slowly cool over billions of years, fading to black. The glowing shell drifts outward like a last breath, leaving a dense ember to cool in silence. Heavier stars die differently, violently. When their cores collapse, they explode. Supernovae outshining entire galaxies for weeks, then fading, leaving behind expanding shells of debris, supernova remnants like the Crab Nebula, still expanding, still glowing from an explosion witnessed in 1054 by Chinese astronomers who recorded a guest star bright enough to see in daylight. Such cataclysms seed the cosmos with heavy elements, the very stuff from which new worlds and perhaps life arise. Let your muscles release, soften like stars, releasing their outer layers into space. Let every holding go, drifting free into the vast peaceful night of rest. Neutron star, cores of massive stars, compressed beyond white dwarf density, so dense a teaspoon would weigh billions of tons, a thimble outweighing Mount Everest. These remnants, only 20 kilometers across, spinning rapidly, some completing hundreds of rotations per second. Their extreme density crushes protons and electrons together into neutrons, creating matter so stable and strange it challenges our understanding of the physical world. Pulsars, neutron stars, with intense magnetic fields, beaming radiation from their poles. As they spin, the beam sweeps past Earth like a lighthouse, pulsing with incredible regularity, millisecond pulsars, keeping time better than atomic clocks, cosmic metronomes ticking away in the darkness. These precise pulses have allowed scientists to test theories of gravity and even search for ripples in space-time itself. Black holes, where gravity wins completely. Nothing escapes, not even light. The core of a massive star, collapsed to infinite density, a singularity, surrounded by an event horizon, the point of no return, space and time, distorted, broken, twisted into impossible shapes. We can't see black holes directly, but we see their effects, gas spiraling inward, heating, glowing, before vanishing forever. Around them, time itself stretches near the horizon, so that to a distant observer, anything falling in appears to slow and freeze eternally. Gravitational lensing, where massive objects bend space itself, light from distant galaxies, curves around, creating multiple images, arcs, even Einstein rings, perfect circles of light, space acting like a lens, magnifying, distorting, revealing galaxies too distant, too faint to see otherwise. This natural telescope has unveiled some of the most remote and ancient galaxies, letting us peer billions of years back towards the dawn of cosmic structure. Your body, so heavy, so relaxed, bending into the mattress, into sleep. Feel every part of you yielding, curved gently like light around an unseen mass. Variable star, changing brightness over hours, days, years, pulsating, expanding and contracting, like cosmic hearts, beating, mirror in the constellation Cetus, brightening and dimming over 11 months, easily visible, then fading, nearly invisible, then returning. Their rhythmic changes offer a quiet reminder that even stars live through cycles of expansion and renewal. Cepheid variables, special pulsating stars whose period of variation relates directly to their true brightness. The longer the period, the brighter the star. This relationship, discovered by Henrietta Leavitt, allows astronomers to measure distances across the universe. By timing how fast a cepheid blinks, we know its true brightness. Compare that to how bright it appears, and we know how far away it must be. Thanks to her insight, we learned the true scale of the cosmos, and that our Milky Way is just one island among countless others. Binary star systems, two stars orbiting each other, bound by gravity, sometimes close, touching almost, exchanging mass, sometimes wide, taking centuries to orbit. Many stars we think are single are actually double, triple, when examined closely. Albireo in Cygnus, a beautiful pair, one golden, one blue, visible in small telescopes, contrasting, dancing around their common center. In these graceful dances, stars share material, evolve together, and sometimes end their lives in spectacular shared cataclysms. Each slow beat echoes the patient rhythm of orbiting companions far above, exoplanet transits, when planets orbiting distant stars pass in front from our viewpoint. The star dims slightly, incredibly slightly, but measurably. This is how we've discovered thousands of planets around other stars, worlds we'll never visit, never see, except as the faintest dip in starlight, a shadow crossing a distant sun. These tiny eclipses have revealed diverse worlds, rocky, gaseous, scorching, or frozen, hinting at possibilities we can only imagine. The bare-eye planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, visible without telescopes, known since antiquity, wandering among the fixed stars. They don't twinkle like stars do. They're disks, too large, averaging out atmospheric turbulence, steady points of light, moving slowly, night by night, against the zodiac. Their steady glow carried stories and calendars for civilizations, marking seasons and seasons of human wonder. Retrograde motion, when a planet appears to move backward against the stars for weeks or months. This happens when Earth, on its faster inner orbit, overtakes an outer planet, making it seem to loop backward, then forward again. This puzzled ancient astronomers who didn't understand. The planets orbit the sun, not Earth. The loops they traced forced thinkers to reimagine the cosmos, shifting from Earth-centered to sun-centered views, conjunctions when two planets appear close together in the sky, Venus and Jupiter blazing near each other, stunning. The actual distance between them, hundreds of millions of miles, but from Earth they seem to touch, to merge, to dance. These fleeting meetings remind us how perspective can create beauty from vast separation. Oppositions, when a planet lies opposite the sun in Earth's sky, rising at sunset, setting at sunrise, visible all night at its closest, its brightest. Mars at opposition glows brilliant orange, unmistakable, commanding. Its closest approach in 60,000 years happened in 2003, when it outshone everything except the Moon and Venus. At such times, the planet feels almost touchable, pulling the gaze upward for hours. Planetary alignments, rare configurations, when several planets appear in a line across the sky or clustered in one region. Beautiful, but astrologically meaningless. Their gravity doesn't combine, doesn't affect Earth. Just geometry, just perspective, just light. Yet the sight still stirs awe, a momentary alignment of worlds in our shared sky. Soften your forehead, your eyes, your jaw, sinking deeper. Let the lines of tension smooth away like planets drifting back into quiet motion. Saturn's rings, visible through even small telescopes, stunning, impossible seeming. Those rings, mostly ice, countless particles, each a tiny moon, orbiting together in a flat disk, so thin that when seen edge-on, they almost disappear. Every 15 years, Earth crosses the ring plane and Saturn appears ringless, strange, before the rings slowly tilt open again. This periodic vanishing makes the rings feel even more precious, a temporary gift of cosmic geometry. The rings won't last forever. They're eroding, raining down onto Saturn, disappearing in 100 million years, perhaps less. They'll be gone. So we're fortunate to live in this moment when Saturn wears its crown of ice. Cherish the view we have now, knowing future eyes may never see Saturn so adorned. Jupiter's moons, the 4 largest, discovered by Galileo in 1610, visible through binoculars, 4 points of light, flanking the planet, changing position night by night as they orbit. Io, Europa, Ganymede, Callisto, each a world. Europa perhaps harbouring an ocean beneath ice. Io, volcanic, the most geologically active body in the solar system. Their ceaseless circling offers proof that motion and change continue even in the coldest reaches. Watching these moons, you can see the universe in motion, see orbits happening in real time, over hours, moons disappearing behind Jupiter, reappearing, being eclipsed by Jupiter's shadow. Tiny dramas playing out 400 million miles away. Each eclipse and emergence unfolds like a miniature clockwork of the heavens. Phases of Venus, visible through telescope as it orbits between Earth and Sun. When Venus is far, on the other side of the Sun, it appears full but small. When near, between Earth and Sun, it appears as a crescent, but large, beautiful, changing, like the moon, but brighter, so bright it casts shadows on moonless nights. Its brilliance and shifting shape make Venus a mirror of lunar cycles, yet dazzling in its own right. Mars at opposition, glowing, fierce, ruddy. The opposition surge, enhanced by something called the opposition surge. Light scattering back from Martian dust directly toward Earth, making the planet appear brighter, more intense. Watching Mars throughout the year, you can see it brighten toward opposition, then fade again as geometry shifts. This surge turns the red planet into a beacon, drawing the eye night after night. Let your breathing slow even more, in, out, like the planets in their orbits. Each breath traces an ellipse, calm and unhurried. Uranus and Neptune, barely visible to the unaided eye. Uranus, just possible, under dark skies, if you know exactly where to look. A pale greenish disk. Neptune, too faint, requiring binoculars, at least. These ice giants, distant, cold, taking decades, centuries to complete their orbits. Voyager 2, our only visitor, flew past in the 1980s, sending back our only close-up views. Their remoteness makes every glimpse feel like a rare message from the solar system's quiet frontier. The asteroid belt, between Mars and Jupiter, millions of rocky fragments, leftovers from the solar system's formation, never coalescing into a planet because of Jupiter's gravity, stirring, disrupting, preventing. Most asteroids stay in the belt, safely distant, but some drift inward. Jupiter's influence preserved this scattered record of the early solar system, a museum of unfinished worlds, near-Earth asteroids, crossing Earth's orbit or coming close. Thousands have been discovered, catalogued, tracked. Most are small, harmless, but occasionally one passes nearby, within the moon's orbit, a reminder that space is full of debris, ancient rubble, still wandering. Our vigilant watch over them reflects both caution and curiosity about our place in a dynamic cosmos. Meteors, shooting stars, not stars at all, but tiny particles, grains of dust, pebbles from comets or asteroids, burning up as they hit Earth's atmosphere at thousands of miles per hour, the friction heating them white hot, incandescent for a second, 2 seconds, then gone, vaporized, streaks of light, wishes made on cosmic dust. Each fleeting streak is a brief visitor from distant origins, gone in an instant yet remembered. Meteorites, the rare ones that survive, that reach the ground, most small, but some massive, blasting craters, changing history. The Barringer crater in Arizona, nearly a mile across, 50,000 years old, carved by an iron meteorite, 150 feet wide, travelling 12 miles per second. These survivors carry stories of impacts that shaped landscapes and perhaps even life's path. Thump, thump, feel your heart. Slower now, slower. Let it settle into the deep, steady cadence of the sleeping Earth. Meteor showers, when Earth passes through debris streams, left by comets, thousands of particles entering the atmosphere, dozens per hour, hundreds at the shower's peak, the Perseids in August, the Geminids in December. Reliable, annual, each shower seeming to radiate from a particular point in the sky. These annual displays turn the night into a gentle rain of light, predictable yet always wondrous. Radiant points, the perspective effect, making meteors appear to stream outward from one constellation, Perseus for Perseids, Gemini for Geminids. Actually, the particles travelling on parallel paths, but perspective, like railroad tracks, seeming to converge in the distance to diverge nearby. The illusion binds the shower to a single origin, much as perspective unites distant stars. Fireballs and bolides, exceptionally bright meteors, brighter than Venus, sometimes bright enough to cast shadows, to light up the landscape. Some explode, fragmenting, leaving glowing trains that persist for seconds, minutes after the meteor has vanished. Sonic booms, occasionally rattling windows, startling but harmless. Their sudden brilliance can startle the night, then fade into quiet memory. Comets, dirty snowballs, icy nuclei a few miles across, orbiting the sun on long elliptical paths. When they approach, the sun's heat vaporizes ice, releasing dust and gas, forming the coma, the fuzzy head, and the tail, or tails, pointing away from the sun, pushed by solar wind, by radiation pressure. Their awakening near the sun transforms them from invisible wanderers into glowing spectacles. Some comets return regularly. Halley's Comet, every 76 years. Last visible in 1986, next in 2061. Others visit once, then depart, on orbits, taking thousands, millions of years, or escaping entirely into interstellar space, never to return. Each return or farewell marks a chapter in the long conversation between comets and our sun. The Oort cloud, hypothetical, vast, surrounding the solar system, 1 trillion comets, perhaps more, in a spherical shell, extending halfway to the nearest star. Occasionally, gravity nudges one inward, beginning its journey toward the sun, toward visibility, toward our skies. This distant reservoir quietly supplies the occasional bright visitor that graces our nights. The Kuiper Belt beyond Neptune, another reservoir of icy bodies, including Pluto, now classified a dwarf planet, along with Eris, Makemake, and others. These distant worlds take centuries to orbit, frozen, dim, barely explored. New Horizons flew past Pluto in 2015, revealing mountains of ice, plains of nitrogen, a heart-shaped region, unexpected, beautiful. Pluto's heart and icy peaks showed us that even the farthest reaches hold surprises and subtle beauty. Zodiacal light, a faint pyramid of light extending up from the horizon after sunset or before dawn, best seen from dark sights in spring and autumn. This glow, sunlight scattered by dust particles orbiting the sun in the ecliptic plane, the same dust that makes meteors when Earth plows through. This soft cone links the planets, asteroids and comets in a shared veil of ancient debris, gently illuminating the edge of night. Gegenschein, even fainter, a diffuse glow, directly opposite the sun in the midnight sky, counterglow in German, caused by sunlight reflecting back from dust particles beyond Earth's orbit, incredibly subtle, requiring the darkest skies, the most patient eyes to perceive. This elusive opposite glow completes the zodiacal light's full circle, a quiet reminder of the dust that fills the inner solar system like an invisible halo. Airglow, Earth's atmosphere, glowing faintly all the time, even on moonless nights. Chemical reactions in the upper atmosphere, releasing light, green, red, across the whole sky. Too faint to see with the unaided eye, usually, but cameras capture it in long exposures. Bands of colour, rippling, moving, evidence that our atmosphere is alive, reacting, glowing, even in darkness. This perpetual emission, powered by solar energy stored and released molecule by molecule, blankets the planet in a soft, ceaseless luminescence. Aurora Borealis, the northern lights, shimmering curtains of green, red, purple, dancing across the polar sky. caused by solar wind, particles from the sun colliding with Earth's magnetic field, funneled toward the poles, striking atmosphere, exciting oxygen and nitrogen, making them glow. The colours depend on altitude on which atoms are struck. Each shimmering wave carries echoes of the sun's distant fury, transformed into silent beauty by our protective magnetic shield. Aurora australis, the southern lights, the same phenomenon in the Antarctic, equally beautiful, less often seen simply because fewer people live that far south. But research stations, remote observers, witness displays, just as spectacular, mirroring their northern cousins across the planet's magnetic axis. The symmetry of auroras north and south reveals the unity of Earth's magnetic embrace, linking hemispheres in shared celestial fire. Strong solar storms can push auroras farther south, farther north, visible from middle latitudes, even from places that rarely see them. In 1859, the Carrington event, the largest recorded solar storm, brought auroras as far south as the Caribbean. Telegraph systems sparked, caught fire, the sky ablaze with dancing light. That historic storm reminds us how closely the sun's moods can touch and illuminate even the most equatorial skies. Light pollution, the enemy of dark skies, cities glowing, wasting light upward into space, obscuring stars, erasing the Milky Way. Most peoples now live under skies where the galaxy is invisible, where only the brightest stars pierce through. A loss, cultural, spiritual, disconnecting us from the cosmos. This artificial brightness severs an ancient human bond, replacing wonder with a narrower, brighter night. Dark sky reserves, protected areas where lighting is controlled, minimized, allowing the night to remain dark. These places, rare, precious, International Dark Sky Association certifies them, recognizes their value. Certain parks, certain communities fighting to preserve what most have lost. In these sanctuaries, the night reclaims its depth, offering refuge for both wildlife and the human spirit. The Bortle scale measures sky darkness from Class 1, pristine, to Class 9, inner city. In Class 1 skies, the zodiacal light is obvious. The Milky Way casts shadows. Clouds appear as dark holes against the glowing sky. In Class 9, only the moon, planets, and the very brightest stars are visible. The gradient of loss. Each step down the scale marks a quiet diminishment, a fading of the cosmic backdrop we once took for granted. Limiting magnitude, the faintest star you can see with the unaided eye. In perfect conditions, magnitude 6.5, maybe 7, representing stars, hundreds of times fainter than the dimmest stars visible from the city. Under urban skies, magnitude 3, 4 at best, 100 times fewer stars visible, a sky impoverished. That vast difference in visible stars measures not just light, but the gradual withdrawal of the universe from our unaided gaze. Atmospheric seeing, the steadiness of the air, turbulence, heat rising, wind shear, all blur. Astronomical images make stars shimmer, dance. On nights of good seeing, stars appear as steady points. Planets show crisp detail through telescopes. On poor nights, everything wavers, melts, frustrating observers. This is why major observatories sit on mountaintops above much of the atmosphere. Good seeing turns the sky into a sharp lens, letting distant worlds reveal their secrets with unusual clarity. Transparency, how clear the air is, humidity, dust, pollution, all scatter light. Dim stars reduce contrast. A transparent night with steady seeing is an astronomer's gift, rare, cherished. Such nights feel like a gift from the atmosphere itself, stripping away haze to unveil the sharpest, deepest views. Scintillation, the scientific word for twinkling. Stars twinkle because their light passes through layers of moving air, bending, shifting, changing intensity rapidly. Planets don't twinkle as much because they're disks, not points. The twinkling averages out. This difference helps identify planets from stars in the sky. The restless dance of starlight through air adds a living shimmer, a reminder of the fluid medium between us and the cosmos. Refraction near the horizon bends light from objects low in the sky. The atmosphere acts like a prism, lifting images slightly. The sun at sunset is actually already below the horizon. When you see it, refraction pulling its image upward, an illusion, allowing a few extra minutes of daylight. This gentle lift grants us lingering views of setting suns, stretching twilight just a little longer. This refraction also flattens the sun and moon near the horizon, making them appear oval, squashed, the bottom edge lifted more than the top because it's deeper in the atmosphere. Subtle geometry, invisible to casual glance, but there, real. The squashed shape is a quiet optical poem, written by layers of air bending light in precise, unequal ways. The green flash, a rare phenomenon at sunset or sunrise. The very last bit of the sun flashing green for a second less, caused by atmospheric refraction, dispersing light like a prism. Green light, bent more than red, the last colour to disappear, requires perfect conditions, clear horizon, calm air. Sailors chased this sight for centuries. That fleeting emerald spark has inspired legends and longing, a final gift from the departing sun. Let your thoughts drift away like light dispersing into nothing. Release them gently, letting them fade into the quiet expanse beyond. Seasonal constellations changing throughout the year. Orion dominating winter skies, Scorpius in summer. These patterns rising and setting 4 minutes earlier each night, drifting westward through the seasons, because Earth orbits, changing our viewpoint, bringing new star to the evening sky, bidding farewell to others. This slow seasonal procession mirrors the wheel of the year, guiding us through cycles of presence and absence. The mythology of constellations, stories overlaid on randomness. These stars, unrelated, vastly different distances, appearing grouped only from our perspective, yet humans everywhere connected them, saw figures, heroes, animals, told stories, connecting earth to sky. In these imagined shapes, we find meaning, weaving our own narratives across the indifferent vastness. Orion the hunter, Ursa Major the great bear, Cassiopeia the queen. Each culture had different stories, saw different shapes. Aboriginal Australians saw the dark spaces as much as the stars, the emu in the sky, outlined by dark nebulae in the Milky Way. Different lens, same sky. The emu reminds us that absence can be as powerful as light, shaping stories from the void between stars. Star names, many from Arabic: Betelgeuse, Aldebaran, Rigel, Deneb. These names, centuries old, from when Islamic astronomers preserved, expanded Greek knowledge during Europe's Dark Ages. Other names from Latin, Greek, Chinese, each star carrying history in its title. Every name is a thread of human curiosity, linking us across time to those who first charted the heavens. Ancient sky maps, scratched on cave walls, carved in stone, painted on tomb ceilings. The Nebra sky disk, Bronze Age, 3,600 years old, showing the Pleiade, the crescent moon, perhaps the earliest concrete depiction of celestial objects, evidence that humans have always looked up. That ancient disk speaks of an unbroken lineage of wonder, proof that the urge to gaze upward is as old as our species. Navigation by stars, how Polynesians crossed the Pacific, how Vikings sailed to Iceland, Greenland, using the sky as their map. Celestial navigation, reading latitude from star positions. Polaris's angle above the horizon equals your latitude in the northern hemisphere. Simple geometry that enabled global exploration. In the angle of a single star, ancient voyagers found direction, turning the night sky into the greatest map ever drawn. Cultural night skies, each tradition passing the heavens differently. The Chinese divided the sky into 28 mansions. The Egyptians aligned pyramids to stars. The Maya tracked Venus with incredible precision, predicting its appearances centuries in advance, all looking up, all finding meaning, pattern, connection. Indigenous sky stories, passed down verbally for thousands of years. Australian Aboriginal astronomy, perhaps the oldest, continuous astronomical tradition. Stories encoding, seasonal information, navigation, calendars, embedded in mythology, science, and story intertwined. Stone Age astronomy, long before writing. Stonehenge, aligned to solstices. Newgrange, in Ireland, older than the pyramids, its passage illuminated only at winter solstice dawn. Megalithic alignments across Europe, tracking sun, moon, stars. Sophisticated understanding without telescopes, without math, just observation, patience, generations, timekeeping by stars, the rising of particular stars, marking seasons. Sirius rising, before dawn, announced the flooding of the Nile. For ancient Egyptians, the Pleiades, heliacal rising, marked harvest. In Greece, planting. In other cultures, stars as clocks, as calendars, as connections between cosmos and agriculture, survival. Calendars and the sky, lunar calendars, solar calendars, lunisolar, trying to reconcile the moon's phases with the sun's yearly cycle, the metonic cycle. 19 years equals 235 lunar months, almost exactly, discovered independently by cultures worldwide. The sky, teaching mathematics through simple observation, long exposure night photography, revealing what eyes can't see, the Milky Way's structure, nebulae glowing, colours emerging, reds and blues, invisible to our night-adapted vision, which sees mostly in black and white, cameras collecting light, minutes, hours, accumulating photons, building images of incredible depth, beauty, Milky Way photography, and art, science, finding dark skies, clear nights, the galactic core rising, composing the shot, foreground landscape, sky above, long exposures, wide apertures, high ISO, capturing the river of stars as our ancestors saw it, before electricity, before cities, before we forgot the night, star color and temperature. The hottest stars burn blue, blue-white, stars like Rigel, Spica, cooler stars, yellow, like our sun, cooler still, orange, red, Betelgeuse, Antares. The color reveals temperature, composition, age, a rainbow of stellar physics, visible to the careful observer, spectral classes, OBAF-GKM, from hottest to coolest. Each class subdivided 0 to 9, our sun, G2, mid-range, common, unremarkable, except that it's ours. And in recent years, new classes, LTY, brown dwarfs, failed stars, too small to sustain fusion, glowing dimly in infrared, your body completely still now, sinking deeper while we drift through more mysteries, more whispers from the cosmic dark. Bare eye observing requires nothing but patience and darkness. No equipment, no technology, just your eyes adapting slowly to the night. It takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes for your pupils to fully dilate, for the rods in your retina to become most sensitive. Patience rewarded with fainter stars emerging like memories surfacing from deep water. This quiet adaptation transforms the ordinary night into a deepening revelation, layer by layer, as the universe slowly unveils itself to the waiting gaze. Averted vision, the technique of looking slightly away from what you want to see. The center of your retina, filled with cones for color, for detail, but less sensitive. In darkness, the edges, filled with rods, more sensitive, detecting fainter light. So you look beside an object, and it appears brighter, clearer, a paradox, seeing better by not looking directly. The gentle shift of focus teaches a deeper truth. Sometimes the most profound sights appear only when we stop staring straight at them. Let your eyes rest now, closed or nearly closed, feeling the darkness behind your eyelids like the darkness between stars. In that inner dark, the boundary between your vision and the cosmos softens, merging into one peaceful void. Binocular astronomy opens the sky. Handheld telescopes, really, magnifying 7 times, 10 times, revealing what eyes alone cannot. Star clusters resolving into individuals. The Andromeda Galaxy showing structure, detail, nebulae emerging from darkness. Jupiter's moons visible as tiny points flanking the planet. With this simple tool, the distant becomes intimate, turning faint smudges into recognizable worlds and gathering the scattered light of galaxies into something almost touchable. Binoculars have advantages over telescopes. Portable, affordable, 2 eyes instead of 1, creating depth, immersion. The field of view, wide, sweeping. You can scan the Milky Way swimming through starfields, lost in the abundance of light. That wide binocular embrace invites a sense of swimming through the stars rather than merely observing them from afar. Some observers prefer binoculars, always. The immediacy, the freedom, no setup, no alignment. Just step outside, look up, and see double stars, variable stars, comets, all accessible, all beautiful, through simple glass and darkness. For many, binoculars remain the truest companions of the night, uncomplicated, always ready, offering discovery without the weight of expectation. Heavier, heavier, your breathing, slowing to match the patient pace of observation. Each slow breath carries you further into the calm rhythm that mirrors the unhurried unfolding of the sky. Telescopes reveal deeper still. Refractors, using lenses. Reflectors, using mirrors. Each design with advantages, compromises. More light gathered, fainter objects visible. Higher magnification, planets showing detail. Saturn's rings, Jupiter's bands, Mars's polar caps, the moon's craters, crisp, sharp, impossibly detailed. Through that gathered light, the telescope becomes a bridge across unimaginable distances, bringing the remote and ancient into the present moment. The first time someone looks through a telescope at Saturn, they often gasp or fall silent. It seems impossible that this icon, this symbol, exists, really exists, as a physical object hanging in space. Those rings, real, ice particles, orbiting, governed by gravity, by physics. Not a picture, not an illustration, but Saturn itself. Light, travelling 90 minutes from there to your eye. That gasp is the sound of awe breaking through, the instant when a childhood symbol becomes a tangible living world suspended in the dark. Optics, the science of bending light, lenses, focusing rays to a point, mirrors, reflecting, collecting. The larger the aperture, the more light gathered, the fainter the objects visible. An 8-inch telescope gathers 4 times more light than a 4-inch, revealing twice as many stars, going twice as deep into space, into time. Each increase in aperture is a quiet act of reaching farther back in cosmic history, capturing photons that left their sources long before humanity existed. Thump, thump, your heart, beating slower now, relaxed, at peace. Let that gentle rhythm settle, echoing the steady pulse of light arriving from distant ages. But telescopes have limits. Magnification can't be increased indefinitely. The atmosphere, turbulent, blurs details. Beyond a certain point, empty magnification, making things larger, but not clearer, just blurrier. The art is finding the balance, clarity and size, detail and brightness. Each night, different. Each object, requiring different approaches. Mastery lies not in pushing harder, but in learning to listen to what the sky offers on any given night. Sky charts, planispheres, printed maps of the heavens, rotating wheels, showing which constellation are visible at any hour, any date. Turn the dial to your time and see what's overhead, what's rising, what's setting. Ancient tools, still useful, still elegant, requiring no batteries, no screens, just paper, alignment, knowledge, passed down through generations. These simple wheels carry centuries of accumulated wisdom, turning the turning sky into something predictable yet endlessly wondrous. These charts teach patterns, relationships between stars, the summer triangle, Vega, Deneb, Altair, the winter circle, Sirius, Procyon, Pollux, Capella, Aldebaran, Rigel, forming a vast hexagon spanning half the sky. Learn these patterns and you're never lost. The sky becomes familiar, friendly, knowable. Once the patterns take root, the vast dome feels less like chaos and more like a familiar room filled with old friends. Let your thoughts drift like constellations, rotating slowly across the dome of your mind. Allow them to circle gently, unhurried, as constellations do across the seasons. Apps for night sky tracking, modern tools, smartphones, tablets, pointing at the sky, identifying what you see. Augmented reality, overlaying names, lines, information onto the real view. Hold up your phone and learn instantly what you're looking at. These glowing screens serve as patient guides, whispering names and stories to anyone willing to lift their eyes and ask. Some purists resist this, preferring charts, star hopping, the old ways. Others embrace the accessibility, the learning, the quick identification. Perhaps both have value. Technology lowering barriers, making the sky less intimidating, more welcoming to newcomers, while traditional methods develop deeper understanding, connection, patience. Whether through ancient paper or modern light, the goal remains the same: to meet the night with curiosity and wonder. The apps can show the sky at different times, past, future, simulating how the sky looked centuries ago will look centuries hence. The planets rewinding, forwarding, eclipses, conjunctions, oppositions, all predicted, all visualized. The computer calculating what once required years of observation, mathematics, careful record keeping. In their simulations, we glimpse the timeless dance of the Evans, past and future collapsing into the quiet now. Seasonal sky changes, the slow, inevitable rotation of constellations, Orion dominating, winter evenings gone by summer, replaced by Scorpius, low in the south by Sagittarius, the teapot pointing toward the galactic core. Each season brings its own sky, its own character, its own memories. These seasonal shifts weave the sky into the fabric of our lives, marking time with light rather than clocks, heavier, sinking deeper into the mattress, into yourself. Let gravity draw you inward, as steady and gentle as the turning of the seasons above. Spring brings Leo, Virgo, Booters, the bright stars, Regulus, Speaker, Arcturus, forming a long arc. Follow the arc of the Big Dipper's handle to Arcturus. Continue the curve to Spica, arc to Arcturus, speed on to Spica, a mnemonic passed down, teacher to student, parent to child, stargazer to stargazer. That flowing arc becomes a memory thread, linking generations of watchers who followed the same curve across spring nights. Summer, the Milky Way, arching overhead, the summer triangle, bright and bold, Cygnus the swan, flying south, down the galactic plane, the Northern Cross, another name for the same pattern, Deneb at the head or tail, depending on your perspective, Albireo at the base or beak, that beautiful double, gold and blue. In summer the galaxy feels close, its river of light inviting you to lose yourself in its endless flow. Autumn brings Pegasus, the great square, nearly empty, of bright stars inside, a guide to darkness, to the quality of your sky. How many stars can you count within the square? None under city lights. 5, 10, 20 under dark skies. A simple test of light pollution, of atmospheric clarity, of how much the universe reveals to patient eyes. The great square stands as a quiet mirror, reflecting back the depth of darkness you have found or lost. Winter, the richest season for northern observers. Orion, blazing, Taurus, the Pleiades, Gemini, Auriga, Canis Major with Sirius, the brightest star in the entire night sky, cold air, crisp, steady, making stars less twinkly, more defined, the price of cold fingers, frozen breath, rewarded with spectacular views. Winter's sharp clarity turns every star into a diamond point. A quiet compensation for the season's chill. Thump, thump, barely perceptible now, your heartbeat fading into background, into sleep. Long-term sky cycles and beyond seasons, beyond years. The Saros cycle of eclipses, 18 years, 11 days, 8 hours. after one Saros, eclipses repeat, almost identically, slightly shifted. This cycle, known to ancient Babylonians, used to predict eclipses centuries in advance. The sky, regular, mathematical, predictable. Despite its vastness, the metonic cycle, 19 years, equals 235 lunar months, almost exactly. So the moon's phases repeat on the same calendar dates every 19 years. Your birthday moon will be the same phase 19 years later, 38 years, 57. A personal connection to cosmic rhythm, precession, that slow wobble of Earth's axis changes everything over millennia, 26,000 years for one complete cycle. The zodiac constellations shifting relative to seasons. When astrology was formalized 2,000 years ago, the sun at the spring equinox was in Aries. Now it's in Pisces, moving backward through the zodiac, one constellation every 2,000 years, approximately. Let your body release completely. Nothing holding on, nothing resisting, just releasing into gravity, into rest. The North Celestial Pole, where Polaris sits now, will trace a circle through the sky over those 26,000 years. Different stars becoming pole stars, then moving on in the future. Vega, bright and blue, will mark north for our descendants. In the past, Thuban in Draco guided ancient Egyptian architects, aligning pyramids to their contemporary north, the sky. 10,000 years ago, recognizable but different. Constellations, stretched, warped, slightly, by proper motion, the individual movement of stars through space. Orion's belt, more curved, the Big Dipper's handle, straighter, different pole star. Vega was closer then to marking north than it is now. Prehistoric humans saw nearly the same stars, organized them differently, told different stories, but the raw material almost identical. They watched the same Sirius rising before dawn in summer, the same Aldebaran glowing red in Taurus, the same Pleiades clustered like diamonds on velvet. 10,000 years ago, the Sahara was green. Humans hunting, gathering, looking up at dark skies, unmarred by cities, unspoiled by light. The Milky Way, overwhelming, dominant, impossible to ignore. Did they wonder about those clouds of light? Did they imagine other worlds, or see only mystery, beauty, divinity? Heavier, heavier, words themselves becoming heavy, difficult, unnecessary. The sky, 10,000 years from now, will be different, more noticeably changed. Constellation shapes distorted, some stars moving relative to others. The Big Dipper becoming less dipper-like, handle bending, bowl stretching, eventually unrecognizable, though that takes 50,000 years, 100,000, longer than human civilization has existed so far. Betelgeuse might have exploded by then, gone supernova, outshining everything briefly, then fading, leaving behind a neutron star or black hole and an expanding shell of glowing debris, or it might not have. Stellar evolution, predictable in general, uncertain in specifics. We know it will happen. We don't know when Polaris will have moved away from the pole, Gamma Cephei taking its place around the year 3100, then others in sequence. The sky turning on timescales beyond human perception, yet real, measurable, inevitable. In 10,000 years, humanity, if it survives, will likely be very different. Spacefaring, perhaps with telescopes in space, above atmospheres, above light pollution, seeing the universe with unprecedented clarity, or perhaps we'll have destroyed ourselves, and the night sky will shine on an empty earth, empty cities, overgrown, reclaimed by nature. The stars don't care which future unfolds. They'll shine regardless for billions of years more, until they too exhaust their fuel, expand, collapse, explode, or fade. Everything temporary, even stars, even galaxies, even perhaps the universe itself. Thump, thump. But that's so far away, so unimaginably distant. Tonight, now, this moment, the stars shine, you breathe, the earth turns, the cosmos continues, and that's enough, more than enough. The silence of the night sky, profound, absolute, no sound, travels through vacuum, the stars exploding, colliding, forming, all in perfect silence. If you could hear the universe, it would be deafening. Supernovae, pulsars, black holes, colliding, neutron stars, merging, unimaginable violence, rendered silent by the absence of medium to carry sound. Here, on Earth, beneath atmosphere, we have sound. Wind, rustling leaves, distant traffic, dogs barking. Even in the quietest places, some sound, always. But looking up, you're seeing silence, pure visual experience. No soundtrack, just light, ancient light, traveling through perfect quiet. This silence, calming, the night sky, not demanding, not insisting, just being there, present, patient, waiting for those who choose to look, indifferent to those who don't. The universe requires nothing from us, expects nothing, judges nothing, just exists, vast, silent, beautiful. Let yourself sink into that silence, that vastness. Nothing required of you, nothing expected, just rest, just peace, just being. The scale impossible to grasp. Truly, a light year, 6 trillion miles. The nearest star, 4 light years, 24 trillion miles. The galaxy, 100,000 light years across the observable universe, 93 billion light years in diameter. Numbers too large to hold, to feel, to understand. They wash over you, leaving only a sense of smallness, of insignificance. Paradoxically, comforting. You don't matter to the universe. Your worries your fears, your regrets, your plans. The stars don't notice, the galaxies don't care, and somehow that's freeing, that's peaceful. You can let go, you can rest. You're small, you're temporary, you're insignificant, and that's okay, that's beautiful. Even for this moment, you exist, conscious, aware, able to see, to wonder, to appreciate the universe experiencing itself through you. Brief, flickering, temporary, but real, but here, but now, heavier, heavier, letting go of meaning, of significance, of self, just sensation, just breath, just the slow descent into sleep. Your ancestors looked up at these same stars, felt this same wonder, this same smallness. Your descendants, if you have them, will do the same. The stars, connecting generations, across centuries, millennia. All of us, looking up, wondering, feeling small and connected and temporary and eternal. The night sky doesn't change in human lifetimes, not noticeably. It's the closest thing we have to permanence, to stability in an ever-changing world. Empires rise and fall. Technologies appear, cities grow, decay, but the stars remain nearly unchanged, faithful, constant, patient. This constancy, comforting, reassuring. No matter what happens in your life, in the world, the stars will be there, shining, silent, infinite, waiting for you to look up, to remember what you're part of, where you come from, how small and precious and temporary you are. Thump, 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 fading now, fading. Let the sky hold you. Let the darkness embrace you. Let the silence soothe you. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, just here, just now, just breathing, just being, just drifting away. Your eyes closed, your body still, your mind quiet. The universe, vast, above, around, within, all connected, all one, all fading into sleep, into dreams, into the soft, eternal, dark. The mysteries will continue. The night sky was whispers, and you drift deeper, deeper into rest. The scale of silence extends beyond what we can hear. Light, travelling for years, centuries, millennia, arriving without sound, without announcement, just appearing on your retina. A photon born in a star 8,000 years ago, crosses the galaxy, survives interstellar space, Earth's atmosphere, and strikes one receptor in your eye. Mission complete, information delivered in silence, in darkness, patient beyond measure. Some of those photons absorbed by dust, never reaching Earth. Others bent by gravity, diverted, delayed, arriving later or earlier than expected. Each photon with a story, a journey, most lost, scattered, absorbed. Only the successful ones, the survivors, create the image you see when you look up. Let your breathing become even slower, softer, like light, fading into distance. The human eye is remarkably sensitive. In perfect darkness, after full adaptation, you could theoretically see a single photon if your brain processed it. Usually, it takes 5 to 7 photons, arriving nearly simultaneously, to trigger conscious perception. So few, so delicate, yet enough to see stars thousands of light years away. Your eye is a time machine. Looking at Vega, you see light that left that star 25 years ago. Looking at Deneb, 1800 years. The Andromeda Galaxy, 2.5 million years. You're seeing the past directly. The universe as it was, not as it is. Everything delayed by the finite speed of light. This means the universe you perceive doesn't exist. Not anymore. Not in that configuration. Stars have moved. Some have died. New ones have formed, but their light hasn't reached you yet. You'll see those changes. Eventually, years from now, centuries from now, the universe constantly updating, but always showing you its history, never its present, heavier, sinking deeper into layers of time, of consciousness, of rest. Telescopes extend this principle. Looking through a large telescope at a distant galaxy, you might see it as it was when Earth was forming, when dinosaurs walked, when humans first stood upright. The deeper you look, the further back you see. Astronomy is archaeology, excavating, not dirt, but time itself. The James Webb Space Telescope, looking back 13 billion years, nearly to the Big Bang itself. Seeing galaxy forming, infant galaxies, awkward, irregular, not yet, the elegant spirals. We know today this is cosmology, watching the universe grow up, evolve, change from simple to complex, from smooth to structured. But you don't need a space telescope to time travel. Just your eyes, just a dark sky, just patience. The light reaching you from any star left that star before this moment, sometimes just minutes before, if you're looking at the sun, usually years, decades, centuries, the universe teaching you that now is relative, that simultaneity is illusion, that everything is delayed, separated by distance and time. Thump, thump, your heartbeat almost imperceptible, like the pulse of the universe, slow, patient, eternal. Photography changed astronomy before cameras, astronomers sketched what they saw, drew nebulae, planets, star clusters by hand. Beautiful drawings, subjective, limited by human perception, by expectation. People drew what they expected to see, often missing what was actually there. Cameras don't have expectations. They record photons accumulating light over minutes, hours, revealing faint structures, invisible to the eye. The first photographs of the Orion Nebula shocked observers, so much more than anyone had seen. Extensions, tendrils, colors, detail, beyond imagination. Long exposures reveal the universe as it truly is, not as we see it, but as it exists. Faint galaxies, distant nebulae, the colours of stars, of gas clouds, reds, blues, greens, purples, invisible to dark-adapted eyes, which see mostly in monochrome. Camera see what we cannot, extending our senses, our reach, our understanding. Modern astrophotography combines art and science, stacking dozens, hundreds of exposures, aligning them precisely, removing noise, enhancing signal. The final image represents hours of collected light, processed, refined, showing details that no single observation could reveal. Let your eyelids rest, heavy, still. Your eyes don't need to see anymore. Your mind can show you the stars from memory, from imagination, from the deep, ancient connection we all carry. Amateur astronomers with backyard setups now capture images rivaling professional observatories from decades past. Technology democratizing space, charge-coupled devices, CCDs, CMOS sensors, sensitive, affordable, computer processing, sophisticated, accessible. Anyone with dedication can photograph galaxies, nebulae, revealing their own piece of the universe to share with the world. Some spend entire nights tracking targets, collecting photons. Others prefer just looking. No camera, no recording, just the ephemeral experience. The photons entering their eye, processed by brain, remembered imperfectly, but intimately, both valid, both beautiful. Different approaches to the same infinite sky. The moon is the easiest target for photography. Bright, close, detailed. Any camera can capture it. Even phones now produce stunning lunar images, craters, Maria rays, mountains, all visible, frozen in a single frame. The same moon humans have photographed for 170 years. Since Daguerre, since the birth of photography itself. Planets require more skill, small, requiring magnification, fighting atmospheric turbulence, lucky imaging, taking thousands of frames, keeping only the sharpest when atmosphere steadies momentarily, stacking the best, creating an image clearer than any single frame, revealing Jupiter's storms, Saturn's rings, Mars's features with remarkable clarity, heavier, every muscle releasing, surrendering to gravity, to stillness. Deep sky objects demand dedication, hours of exposure, precise tracking, dark skies, patience, but the results, extraordinary. Personal images of the Andromeda Galaxy, of the Orion Nebula, of star clusters that you captured yourself. Light that travelled thousands of years to reach your camera sensor, preserved forever in digital memory. Some photographers spend years on a single target. The Hubble Space Telescope pointed at the same patch of sky for 11 days. the Hubble Ultra Deep Field, revealing 10,000 galaxies in a region the size of a grain of sand held at arm's length. The faintest galaxies, 32 billion light-years away, their light stretched, red-shifted by expanding space. You could spend 1,000 lifetimes imaging the sky and never capture everything, never exhaust the possibilities. Infinite targets, infinite variation, infinite beauty, the universe, providing endless inspiration, endless mystery, endless wonder. The sky changes subtly, constantly. Planets moving against the stars, comets appearing, disappearing, asteroids drifting through, new supernova flaring up in distant galaxies, variable stars brightening, dimming, the sky dynamic, living, evolving, despite appearing eternal, unchanging, fixed. Thump, thump, slower still, barely there. Dedicated observers monitor targets nightly, weekly, tracking asteroid positions, measuring variable star brightnesses, searching for supernovae in distant galaxies. Amateurs contributing to science, discovering comets, asteroids, variable stars, their names attached forever to their discoveries. Small immortality in the vastness, the universe. Rewards, patience, consistency, attention. Those who watch regularly notice changes, patterns, rhythms. The casual observer sees a snapshot, static, unchanging. The dedicated observer sees motion, evolution, story, unfolding across nights, weeks, years, decades. Some observers keep journals, sketching what they see, recording dates, times, seeing conditions, equipment used, objects observed. Over years, these journals become treasures, personal histories of observation, of learning, of connection with the sky. Looking back through old entries, remembering that night, that moment, that first glimpse of Saturn, of the Andromeda Galaxy, of the Pleiades, in binoculars. Astronomy teaches patience. Things happen slowly. Planets taking weeks to cross a single constellation. Comets brightening over months. Variable stars cycling over days, years. Everything requiring waiting, watching, returning, night after night. Slow rebuilding, understanding, familiarity, relationship with the sky. Let your mind slow to match this cosmic pace. Thoughts like planets drifting, taking months to move, eventually stopping completely. Just stillness, just darkness, just rest. Modern light pollution has costs. Beyond losing the Milky Way, circadian rhythms disrupted by constant light, migrating birds confused by city glow, crashing into buildings, sea turtle hatchlings disoriented, crawling towards streetlights instead of ocean. Ecosystems evolved for billions of years with dark nights, now bathed in artificial light, disrupting breeding, feeding, navigation. Humans, too, suffer. melatonin production suppressed by blue light, sleep disrupted, health impacts, depression, obesity, diabetes, possibly linked to chronic light pollution. We evolved under dark skies. Our bodies expect darkness, need darkness for proper function, for rest, for health. Some cities now transitioning to better lighting, shielded fixtures, pointing down, not up, warmer colours, less blue, dimming after midnight when fewer people are outside. These changes reduce sky glow, improve star visibility while maintaining safety, security, a compromise benefiting everyone, everything. Dark sky preserves offer refuge for both humans and wildlife. Places where natural darkness is protected, maintained, where the Milky Way still dominates, where nocturnal animals thrive, where people can experience the sky as ancestors did, a reminder of what we've lost and a hope for what we might reclaim. Heavier, everything heavier, thoughts, words, meanings, all dissolving into sleep. The International Astronomical Union designates official names for stars, planets, features, standardizing, so everyone uses the same terms. Most stars don't have names, just catalogue numbers. HD 294558, Kepler 4552, Gliese 5581, thousands, millions, billions of stars. Most anonymous, just numbers in databases. Their light reaching us, but their names unknown, unknowable. A few hundred stars have traditional names passed down from Arabic, Greek, Latin, Chinese, Betelgeuse, Rigel, Aldebaran, Antares. Names with history, with meaning, some translated as the follower, the foot, the rival, describing position, colour, relationship to other stars. Recently, the IAU allowed public naming campaigns for exoplanets, systems, thousands submitted, suggestions, voting, deciding, winners announced. Now those distant worlds have names: Poesisia, Sazasa, Trappist, familiar words for alien places, bringing them somehow closer, making them more real, more knowable. But most of space remains nameless nebulae, identified by catalogue numbers Messier 42 NGC 1976, both names for the Orion Nebula, galaxies IC 342 UGC 1810, ESO 269 G57, cold designations for warm, glowing objects of incredible beauty. The universe, too vast for poetry to label everything. Perhaps it's appropriate. Most things need no names, no labels, no designation. They simply exist, glowing, spinning, evolving, in silence, in darkness, witnessed or not, named or not, unchanged. By our attention, our categories, our understanding, let yourself become nameless too. No identity, no story, just existence, just consciousness, fading, just the slow descent into nothingness, into everything, into sleep. The stars above don't know you're watching, don't know You exist. Don't know. Earth exists. They shine into void. Their light spreading in all directions. Only a tiny fraction intercepted by planets, by moons, by spacecraft, by eyes. Most traveling forever into expanding space, never striking anything. Wasted from one perspective, but light doesn't care. It's not wasted. It's not saved. It simply travels until it doesn't. Your existence, similar, brief, traveling through time toward an end, inevitable. Consciousness, flickering, temporarily, then fading back into the unconscious universe. Not sad, just factual, just the way things are, temporary patterns in temporary matter, briefly aware, then not. But right now, you're aware, barely, consciousness, flickering, like a distant star, fading, growing dimmer, soon to disappear, into sleep, into unconsciousness, temporary death. And that's good. That's rest. That's necessary. That's what you need. Release everything. Let go of all of it. The facts, the numbers, the names, the stars, the galaxies, the universe, even awareness itself. Let it drift away like light into distance, dimming, fading, going, gone. Silence, scale, darkness, distance, time, space, all concepts dissolving into nothing, into sleep. Your body, still. Your breath, barely. Your mind, empty. The universe, vast, and you, small, floating, fading, sinking deeper into the soft, the quiet, the deep, eternal night, distance to stars, measured by parallax, watching a star shift position slightly as Earth orbits. The greater the shift, the closer the star. Nearby stars, like Alpha Centauri, show measurable parallax. Distant stars, shifts too small to detect from Earth, requiring space telescopes, Gaia, measuring billions of stellar parallaxes, mapping the galaxy. Light years explained, the distance light travels in 1 year, 6 trillion miles, about 10 trillion kilometers. The nearest star, Proxima Centauri, over 4 light years away. Its light left that star over 4 years ago. Before reaching your eyes tonight, we see the past always when we look at stars. Cosmic background light, faint glow from all the galaxies, too distant, too faint to see individually. Their combined light filled space, a diffuse background discovered by measuring the overall brightness of the sky. Between stars, evidence of billions of galaxies beyond our sight. Faint galaxies overhead, millions of them in every direction, most invisible to the unaided eye. But there, filling the universe, each galaxy, hundreds of billions of stars. The Hubble Deep Field pointed at a tiny patch of seemingly empty sky, revealed thousands of galaxies in that speck. Alone, Andromeda, the nearest large galaxy, visible to the unaided eye, a faint smudge in the constellation Andromeda, 2.5 million light years distant. Its light began its journey before humans existed. Photons traveling through space, while on Earth, ice ages came, went, species evolved, vanished. The Andromeda Galaxy, larger than the Milky Way, approaching us. Blue shifted. We're falling together, pulled by mutual gravity. In about 4 billion years, we'll collide, merge, forming an elliptical galaxy. Milkomeda, someone called it. But individual stars, so far apart, won't collide. The galaxy as we'll pass through each other, like ghosts, local group galaxies, Andromeda, the Milky Way, Triangulum, and dozens of smaller satellites, dwarf galaxies, orbiting the larger spirals, the Magellanic Clouds, visible from the southern hemisphere, irregular galaxies, satellites of the Milky Way, currently being torn apart by tidal forces, streams of stars, pulled free, orbiting, merging, deep sky observing, requires dark skies, patience, averted vision, looking slightly to the side, using the more sensitive rods in peripheral vision. Objects, invisible when looked at directly, appear when gazed at indirectly. The Andromeda Galaxy grows when you don't quite look, heavier and heavier, sinking into the mattress, into the pillow. Telescopes reveal what eyes cannot: faint nebulae, distant galaxies, details on planets. But the unaided eye has its own magic, immediacy, the sense that you're directly connecting, no glass between you and ancient light. That photon hitting your retina travelled uninterrupted across light years, centuries to reach you. This moment, this breath, every star you see without a telescope lies within about 1,000 light years. Most much closer. Our neighbourhood, our local bubble, within the vast spiral of the Milky Way. Further star, too dim, lost in distance. But these visible ones, these points of light, are still suns, possibly with planets, possibly with life, looking back at us. Feel your breathing, slow, slower, in, out, like light, travelling patiently. The universe is mostly empty, vast distances, between stars, between galaxies. If the sun were a basketball, Earth would be a peppercorn, 8 city blocks away. Pluto, a grain of sand, miles distant. The nearest star, another basketball, 4,000 miles away. Emptiness, cold, dark, broken only by tiny islands of warmth, of light. Yet this emptiness isn't truly empty. Quantum fields pervade all space. Dark matter, invisible, undetectable, except through gravity, holds galaxies together. Dark energy, even stranger, pushes the universe apart, accelerating its expansion. 95% of the universe is dark matter and dark energy. We see only 5%, only the bright fraction. The night sky teaches humility, scale beyond comprehension, age beyond imagining, billions of years, billions of light years, our lives, so brief, so small. Yet here we are, conscious, aware, able to measure, to understand, to appreciate. We are the universe, looking at itself, thinking about itself. Thump, thump, your heartbeat echoing the pulse of distant pulsars in ancient times before telescopes. People saw only about 6,000 stars, total, visible from any location, with binoculars 100,000, with telescopes millions, billions, and still we've barely started counting 400 billion stars in our galaxy alone. 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Numbers too large to grasp, to feel, to hold in mind. Yet each photon, each particle of light that reaches you, connects you to that distant star, that ancient past. You are touching, literally, the cosmos. When you see starlight, the atoms in your body were forged in stars, long dead. You are star stuff, as Carl Sagan said. The universe, made conscious, looking back at its own history. Some stars you see tonight no longer exist. Supernovae, centuries ago, millennia ago, their light, still travelling, still reaching Earth. Ghosts, already gone, but still visible. The sky, a museum of cosmic history. Light from different eras, arriving simultaneously at your eyes. Other stars are being born right now in nebulae, too distant, too faint to see. Their light hasn't reached us yet, won't reach us for thousands of years. The universe, always creating, always destroying, always changing, though from our perspective, everything seems eternal, fixed. Let your thoughts dissolve into vastness, into silence. Early astronomers, Hipparchus, Ptolemy, catalogued stars, measured positions, created systems to predict planetary motions, wrong in details, geocentric, Earth at center, but accurate enough for navigation, for calendars, for understanding patterns in the sky. Copernicus put the sun at center. Galileo, with his telescope, saw moons orbiting Jupiter, proving not everything orbits Earth. Kepler discovered planets move in ellipses, not circles. Newton explained why. Gravity, holding the solar system together, each generation seeing further, understanding deeper. Herschel discovered Uranus, the first planet, unknown to ancients. Then Neptune, predicted mathematically, before being seen, based on Uranus's wobbling orbit. Something was pulling it. Eventually, telescopes found Neptune, where calculations said it must be. Triumph of reason, mathematics, physics, prediction confirmed. Hubble, in the 1920s, proved galaxies exist. Beyond the Milky Way, the universe, suddenly, unimaginably larger. Then he discovered galaxies are receding. The more distant, the faster. The universe is expanding, growing, stretching, space itself, flowing outward, carrying galaxies like leaves on a vast cosmic river. This expansion implies the universe had a beginning. 13.8 billion years ago, the Big Bang. everything condensed, infinitely hot, infinitely dense, then expanding, cooling, forming particles, atoms, stars, galaxies, planets, us. The night sky shows us this history, this evolution, written in light, thump, thump, slower still. The cosmic microwave background, faint radiation, filling all space, afterglow of the Big Bang, cooled now to 3 degrees above absolute zero, invisible to our eyes, but detected by radio telescopes, showing tiny variations, seeds that grew into galaxies, into clusters, into the cosmic web of structure. We see today the universe will continue, expanding, forever, probably. Current evidence suggests galaxies will drift apart, stars will burn out, black holes will evaporate. Eventually, the universe growing darker, colder, emptier, over trillions of years. But that's so far away, so unimaginably distant. Tonight, the stars still shine. For now, for us, the night sky remains beautiful, mysterious, infinite. Each clear night, an invitation to step outside, to look up, to remember. We're part of something vast, something ancient, something ongoing. The stars don't care. If we watch them, they'll shine, whether we notice or not. But we care. We look up. We wonder. We imagine. We calculate. We dream. This looking, this wondering, is part of what makes us to human consciousness, contemplating the cosmos. Let your body relax completely. Every muscle loose, heavy, sinking. On any clear night, even from a city, some stars break through. Sirius, brightest in the night sky, Vega, Capella, Arcturus, the Big Dipper, Orion's belt. Familiar patterns, reliable friends, unchanged for human history, barely changed for thousands of centuries. Under dark skies, the view transforms. The Milky Way emerges, a river of light. Structure appears, dark lanes, bright clouds. The sense of depth, of 3 dimensions, of floating in a galaxy, rather than looking at a flat dome overhead, lying on your back in darkness, watching stars. You can feel Earth's rotation, the stars, slowly, imperceptibly, sliding westward, the universe wheeling above, while you lie still, carried along by Earth's spin, by its orbit, by the galaxy's rotation, by the universe's expansion, moving, always moving, through space and time. Some people report feeling the overview effect, a sense of profound connection, seeing Earth from space, in their mind's eye, small, fragile, beautiful, alone, in the vast dark, yet teeming with life, the only such place we know, the only home we've ever known, the pale blue dot, as Voyager saw Earth from beyond Neptune, a pixel, barely visible, suspended in a sunbeam. Everything we've ever known, everyone we've ever loved, every civilization, every triumph, every tragedy, on that speck. Carl Sagan's words echo across decades. A call to cherish, to protect our tiny world. Your breath barely moving now, in, out, like tides, like winds, like the slow drift of continents. Stargazing connects us to ancestors who watched the same stars, wondered the same questions, told different stories, but felt the same awe. Thousands of years ago, someone looked at Orion and wondered, what is light? How far? How many? In the future, people will look up and see mostly the same stars. The sky changes slowly, very slowly. Barnard's star, moving fastest, crossing the sky, 10,000 years to move, half a moon width. The constellations our descendants will see, nearly identical for millennia to come. But eventually, hundreds of thousands of years, the patterns shift. Stars drift, constellations dissolve, new patterns form. The Big Dipper's handle will bend, break, scatter. Nothing lasts forever, not even the seemingly eternal stars, except, in another sense, they do last. The atoms they create through fusion spread through supernovae, seeding space with heavy elements. These elements form new stars, new planets, new life, us. We are literally made of stars, not metaphor, but fact. Every atom, heavier than hydrogen, forged in stellar cores or in supernova explosions. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the carbon in your cells, all created in stars that died billions of years ago. You are ancient, cosmically ancient, even if your body is young, heavier, letting go. Light pollution robs us of this connection. The Milky Way, invisible to 2/3 of humanity. Children growing up, never seeing a truly dark sky, never experiencing that vastness, that perspective, that sense of place in the universe. But it can return. Turn off lights, shield others, let the darkness come back. The stars are still there, always there, waiting to be seen, waiting to remind us what we're part of, where we came from, how small, how precious we are. Some nights, clouds cover everything. No stars visible, just grey or black, featureless. But even then, above the clouds, the stars shine, the galaxy turns, the universe expands, oblivious to weather, to clouds, to our temporary blindness. Other nights, crystal clear, no moon, no clouds, stars, beyond counting, the Milky Way, overwhelming. You can get lost in that view, lose track of time, lose yourself in wonder. Let yourself drift away now, completely. Nothing to hold, nothing to do, just floating in darkness, in warmth, in safety, while above, beyond, the universe continues its ancient dance, its slow, patient unfolding. Thump, 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 slower. The International Space Station passes over several times per night, sometimes bright, steady, moving, faster than any plane. It's people up there, humans, orbiting, seeing 16 sunrises, per day, looking down at the curved horizon, the thin blue line of atmosphere, experiencing the overview effect firsthand. Satellites, dozens, hundreds, visible on any clear night, now streaking silently across the stars. New constellations, artificial, Starlink, other mega constellations, thousands more coming. Some see this as progress, connectivity, others as pollution, intrusion into the natural sky. The night sky changing in our lifetime, becoming less wild, more crowded, but beyond the satellites, beyond Earth orbit, the natural sky remains. The planets still wander, the stars still shine, the galaxies are still spiral, unaffected, used by our activity. Down here, the cosmos continues, indifferent, magnificent. Imagine a civilization on a planet around another star, looking up at their sky, seeing different constellations, different patterns, maybe no moon or 3 moons. Maybe I'm in a binary star system, 2 suns, never experiencing true night. Or maybe deep within a globular cluster, sky ablaze with thousands of close, bright stars, never seeing the darkness we experience. Or maybe on a planet at the galactic edge, looking out at the universe, seeing galaxies stretching away into deep space. No Milky Way obscuring the view, just clear, dark sky filled with distant islands of stars. Every world a different sky, different view, different perspective on the cosmos, but the same physics, the same atoms, the same fundamental reality, binding everything together. Your thoughts fading now, dissolving, words losing meaning, just sensation, just weight, warmth, darkness, breath, the night sky, above you, always above you. Even when invisible, it's there. Stars, shining, galaxies, turning, light, traveling, and you, here, now, part of it all, connected through gravity, through atoms, through light, one small consciousness in a vast, unconscious universe. But consciousness matters. Awareness matters. The universe can be appreciated, understood, loved, because we exist, because you exist here, breathing, thinking, feeling, slowly slipping into sleep. The stars will still be there when you wake, different ones, risen, others set, the wheel continuing to turn, the cosmos, patient, eternal, while you rest, while you dream. Thump, thump, thump. Let it all go now. All the facts, all the numbers, all the names, let them wash over you like starlight, like darkness, not needing to remember, just feeling the immensity, the beauty, the mystery, the peace of being small, insignificant, yet here, aware, alive. You're breathing, automatic now, body taking over, mind drifting, floating, away like a planet in its orbit, like a star in the galaxy. You're part of the motion, the flow, the great turning of everything. Sleep comes gently, softly, like nightfall, creeping across the earth, shadow, spreading, bringing rest, bringing dreams, bringing quiet. The universe doesn't need you to watch it. It continues regardless, but you watched, you looked up, you wondered, and in that moment, the universe became aware of itself through you. Now, rest. Let the cosmos continue. Without your gaze, it will be there tomorrow night and the next and the next. Waiting, shining, turning, eternal. Your eyes closed now or closing. Body completely relaxed, heavy, held by gravity, by earth, by the mattress. Safe, warm, still. The night sky above, the stars, distant, the light, ancient, everything continuing while you drift deeper into sleep, into dreams, into darkness. Thump, thump, breathing, shallow, slow, consciousness, fading, words becoming sounds, meaning, dissolving, just the rhythm, the flow, the gentle pull downward, inward, into rest. 100 mysteries woven together, one long story of light and darkness and distance and time, all flowing together like the Milky Way across the sky, like your thoughts across the edge of sleep. Nothing to remember, nothing to do, just being, just breathing, just fading away into the soft, the quiet, the deep, the stars above, the darkness around, the universe vast, and you, small, safe, sleeping, held by earth, surrounded by space, part of everything. Let go completely, drift away into sleep, into dreams, into the endless, patient dark. The night holds you, the sky watches, the cosmos continues, and you rest, you sleep, you to dream. Thump, your heartbeat slowing, matching the pulse of distant neutron stars, spinning in space, everything connected, everything. One, sleep, now, just sleep. The universe keeps turning, the night sky whispering its oldest stories, and we'll keep drifting, floating together through the mysteries. 100 night sky mysteries, looping softly, endlessly through the night. Tonight we'll drift through the slow procession of the stars above ancient skies. Why the Milky Way seems to breathe across the seasons. How faint light travels for billions of years to reach your eyes.